Good morning and welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's kick-ass coach and psychologist. And it seems like either my internet or Facebook is having a little bit of a fit today, maybe both. So it didn't have my flip screen today and it said null. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to make of that message, but whatever. On we go. We press on, as my sister Vicky would say. And that kind of fits with today's card. Good morning, Larissa. Glad you are here. And I know one of you is going to have a reaction to to this card because of the words that are there. But I'm going to attempt to put it into a context that makes it work as opposed to being the platitude. There she is. Good morning, Diane. I know you're going to have a reaction to this card. That's okay because I think we can tweak it such that it becomes empowering instead of a platitude that pisses you off. So let's see where we go with this baby. Again, we have the Higher Intuitions deck by Christy Robinette and Jonna Gibson Bowman. And again, my flip screen is not working today. I think Facebook is helping me practice my flexibility. How well do I roll with what works and what doesn't work on any given day? And this card is interesting because first of all, it was on the bottom of the deck when I picked the deck up. And then as I was shuffling, it kept popping up. It's a bright color, so I kept seeing it over and over and over again. And so I muscle tested, it's just meant to be that card, meaning I wasn't going to pick the way I typically pick. I was going to go through the deck and find this card. And the answer was no, go through the deck, good morning, Joe. Allow the card to, whatever card presents itself when you open the deck to be the card that it is. It was the same card. It was the same card. So again, to me, feels like divinely right timing for this card to come up and this concept to come up and for us to expand on this concept in a way that works for people, especially Diane, and isn't just the same old, same old. And that's kind of a theme that's been coming up repeatedly the last day, I would say. So I want to give you the background on that, and then I'll show you the card. I'm not holding out on you guys, really. So my son texted last night and was pretty upset because a friend of his from Milwaukee had a car accident and a traumatic brain injury, and they were thinking it wasn't going to be a good outcome. And my son and this young man were 31 years old, and he's lamenting how life can change in an instant and how does that impact day-to-day living. And that dovetailed with an article I then sent to him that I was right then in the process of reading from my Maria Shriver newsletter, which was basically, let's see if I can capture the concept here. This young woman saying that kind of like good enough isn't enough, and Larissa, you popped up again, so there must be something in here for you. Basic gist of it was not settling for, my job's okay enough, so I'll just stick with it, or my relationship is kind of all right, so I'm not going to put forth the uncomfortable effort of improving it, or I'm kind of happy with my house, so I'll just stay put and it'll be all right. And that settling kind of a thing. And then you get to, and how many times have you heard someone say, when they sell their house, they make all the repairs that should have been made over the years that they could have enjoyed, but now they're doing them for whomever's going to come in next. I'd be rich if I had $1 for everybody who told me that. So, the thing that's chiming in my head is Mary Kay Ash's statement of, we all belong to the Din Din Club. Do it now, do it now. So rather than waiting, do it now, do it now. So my friend Marlo wants to go to Scotland. So she has an envelope into which she's putting whatever amounts of money she can put aside to go to Scotland. It's setting that intention to make stuff happen. And not allowing yourself to pull up short, settle, think it's okay and I'll just be with it, because it seems like it's too big a goal. When you put forth the effort, the universe works with you to make that goal not so big. So I'll give you a for instance, well, several for instances. Marlo herself has had repeated opportunities for the universe to show her that when she shows up to accomplish something, it gets accomplished. I have some friends who years ago, they had a ton of debt because he had finished chiropractic school and she had gone through nursing school, and they had a bunch of student loans. And they sat down and created a 5-year plan for getting out of debt. They accomplished that goal in 18 months. Again, when there's the practical, pragmatic things that we do to accomplish something, and then there's the magic sauce that the universe throws in when we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Crap comes up. So I think COVID was a perfect example of that. People had goals, were struggling, etc., and the government handed over some money. Some people made good choices with that money. Like, I've only got X amount left on my debt. I'm going to pay that off and be done with it. Or I'm going to tuck this aside because it's going to fund this dream goal that I have, etc., etc. Some people just blew it on whatever, but some people made a conscious decision. I'm going to use this to further my path in life, where I want to get to. So all of that being said, to put a framework on this card that is going to be productive for all of us. So here's our card. It's a lion roaring, and the words are be strong. Be strong. And now, this is not, in my view, this is not the platitude be strong that we hand out to people who are struggling with something like, it's uncomfortable for me to watch you struggle, so therefore be strong. No, that's not what this is, okay? Let me read the words, and then we'll decide where we go from there. The key words are strength, pride, and moving on. And the quote is from A.A. Milne of Winnie the Pooh fame. Promise me you'll always remember, you're braver than you believe, and stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Okay, that's expansive consciousness in a nutshell right there. That's stepping into that field of infinite possibility. I am so much more than I think I am, all right? And when we begin to live to that, we begin to live to that. More of that shows up, okay? So here are the words, and then we'll run off again. The lion's presence itself can draw fear among his peers. Even when he doesn't feel strong, he is perceived as such, and he reminds you too that you too are just as strong. With all that you are experiencing in your life, it is time to embrace your own strength, always and forever. And strength doesn't mean putting on that face of, it's fine, everything's fine. It means drawing on that internal fortitude that we all have. That doesn't mean that we don't allow ourselves times to feel what we feel, etc. We can feel what we feel. Think about the people in Ukraine right now. They're feeling what they feel, but they're still doing what they need to do, okay? Not an easy path to walk at all, but the encouragement here is to tap into that resource of inner strength that you have while you're feeling whatever you're feeling, okay? It is time for you to let go of the things that can no longer be fixed. So I want you to just close your eyes and take a breath. And I want you to allow whatever comes to mind first to be there. It is time to let go of the things that can no longer be fixed. What have you been flailing against? What are you raging against the machine about that it's time to let go of? It's time to let go of. Again, the last several days. I did this morning. I woke up early. I think it was 10 to 4. And I spent an hour laying there sending peace energy out. sending peace energy to this young man who has the traumatic brain injury, sending peace energy to my son who's upset about his friend being injured, sending peace energy to both sides of that war, sending peace energy all over the place. And boy, my hands were just buzzing, just buzzing. That's something I want to do every day. That's something I want to do even in little moments here and there when I think about it. Send peace energy. And I have yoga today. You can tell by the garments. Every little thing's going to be all right, okay? I have yoga, and we often send an Om out into the world, wherever it needs to go, for healing and illumination, all right? So, it is time for you to let go of the things that can no longer be fixed. Trash is trash. Only keep around that which is worth collecting. So trash can include your opinion of yourself as weak. That's trash. Out that goes. We are resilient people. We are resilient. Okay? If you have to force a situation into the way you want it, you only make it worse. And the knowledge that it isn't yours needs to be seen. So that thing about let go of something. If it comes back to you, it's yours. If it doesn't, it never was. We don't need to cling to things that aren't ours. If they are ours, they may cycle around again. So I can give you examples of that too. People who've bid on something. Let's say it's Facebook or it's a sheriff's auction sale of a house or whatever it is, and they don't get the item. And then somehow through this convoluted process, it ends up being theirs anyway. I've seen that happen multiple times. So don't feel like you're shut out. This or something better. This or something better, okay? If you keep that in mind, if you say that, it really puts that energy out into the world and invites the universe to cough up the something better. Holding on can make you brave, but moving on makes you strong. So it's that discernment, knowing when it's time to let go of something and move along your path. All right? Is that fun? Is that comfortable? No. I'm right in the process of selling the motel. I have no idea where I'm going afterwards or for how long. It's an uncomfortable feeling. I'm willing to feel the discomfort in order to open up my path, in order to move on. Okay? Lion may be telling you that it is time for you to see your physician and then begin an exercise program to help build your body's strength. That's something I've been noting recently also. The women around me who are my age, I'm seeing a whole lot of disability. People who are struggling to walk. People who couldn't run if their life depended on it. I end up running every day because my dog insists that we run. He gets rolling and I'm hurtling along after him. I think one of the ones that came up, well, that's got to be 8-10 years ago, when most of us were in our 50s instead of our 60s, was in a dance class I took. It was basically for fitness, and she had us do a little obstacle course. And one of the things on the obstacle course was a little bench that was maybe this high, and it was wide, and we stood in front of it, and we were supposed to jump with 2 feet up onto that bench. You should have seen us struggle. You should have seen us hesitate. Many of us have lost physical skills. We don't practice them. We sit in chairs most of the day, whatever. So we've lost physical skills. Stretching. Many of the women that I know are really stiff and tight and not able to move very well. So I'd like us all to challenge ourselves to pick something. Pick something and do it. If you stand beside your kitchen table and put a foot up and out onto a chair and stretch, hold it for 15 seconds. Don't push too hard, because you want to be able to do this consistently. And if you injure yourself right off the bat, that ain't going to happen. Stretch a little bit. Put some flexibility into your body. Because again, as I said in the beginning, strength isn't just about power. It can be about endurance, long lasting. It can be about flexibility, the ability to move with things instead of getting whammoed by them. So practice a little bit. Practice a little bit. Let's make that part of your routine today and moving forward. I think a beautiful time, a beautiful way to add something new to your routine is to hook it onto something you already do. So I'm going to pick one for you, and then you can decide what you're going to do. Brushing your teeth. You brush your teeth probably twice a day, right? When you're standing at the sink brushing your teeth, do some stretches. Do some deep knee bends. And don't go too deep, just a little bit, Throw your shoulders back while you're brushing your teeth. Roll your head to the side while you're brushing your teeth. A little bit of something linked up with something you do all the time, okay? If you're one of the ones that I've touted for years is when you're sitting at the stop sign, do some deep breaths. Why? Because lung health is a vital piece of all this other stuff we're talking about. If you're going to get back into running, you need your lungs to be top notch, right? So just sitting and practicing taking some nice, deep breaths can be a way to get this thing rolling. Know that I know that when something has atrophied, it tends to stay atrophied. We really need to put forth some conscious effort to change that status quo. And that's kind of, to me, what this whole thing is about. Being willing to change status quo. I would like for you, it's up to you, but I would like for you to not be satisfied with status quo. It is what it is. It's always been this way. Marlo read me someone's commentary on his job at the mill, and it very much was that dissatisfaction that every day I want to quit my job. I don't like what I'm doing, etc., etc. I had a client at one point who was searching for what she was meant to be doing in life, and her dad said to her, just get a job at the mill. I've worked there 40 years and I've hated every minute of it. But he was proud of that. Proud of the fact that he had endured something for 40 years that really would be changeable. It really would be changeable, either from the inside out or by changing jobs. Don't settle. Don't settle. I don't want you getting to the end of your life and looking back and going, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I want you to look back and go, yeah, that was hard, but I did it. And that was hard, but I did it. And I changed that, and it was miserable, but I did it. That's what I want for you. So, here is our card. Be strong. Be strong in unusual ways. Be strong in your flexibility of thought. Be strong in stepping into your expansive consciousness. Be strong in stretching your body. Be strong in making changes to the habits that don't serve you well. Be strong. Have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.